Right, g'day guys. Here we are in the next video, number 7, I think we're at, and we are going to be drawing in the finials here, right? So like I said in the previous video, we only need to draw one, and then we're just going to modify. We're going to copy it across for the other ones. So it's a very, very similar process to what we did before, and I reckon we could probably. It wouldn't be too hard to just draw it straight on top here. So again, we're using timber that is. We're going to be using 38 by 38, which. It doesn't say on here. I might have to fix that. That's okay. I'm going to just draw a rectangle because we're going to use the same stock that we use for the columns. So we're going to go 38, 38. But this time it's a little bit different in terms of, see, we've got in this we actually leave some square stock, right? And then we have the turn part on top, right? So we're going to leave 32 millimeters square on one and 50 millimeters squared on the other. So let's pretend we're doing the middle one. We'll push this up 50 millimeters. Now we can do those lines like we did in the other one where we draw a cross to get our center point, right? And then we draw a line straight up on the blue axis and it's going to be 70 millimeters, like that. And then we will draw a circle in from that point out there. We'll use the eraser to get rid of the lines here. And there, perfect. Now we can draw in a line straight on the green axis, straight up 70 millimeters. Oh. Hang on, why is not? There we go. So we'll go 70 millimeters. Wrong axis. Maybe on the blue axis, that's why. And okay. Okay, so we've got this shape filled in. This is where we're going to draw our profile. So for starters, let's go with the measuring tape. We're going to go in. We'll go in 5 and up and in 5 again for the parting for the first parting tool. I guess groove, you could say. Oh, hang on. Where'd I go? Where are the finials? Sorry. There we go. I want to zoom in on that. Why won't it let me zoom in? Control? There we go. Sorry, hitting the wrong button. Okay. So looks like we want to put in, we've got a flat spot here, which is this line we've just drawn. I'll go over with the pencil tool so you can see. All right. We've got a flat spot and then a kind of half curve and a little ball, I guess you could say, or a little bead. So let me get rid of this. Let's see. We'll go in. I reckon we probably want to go in a further. Let's see. Maybe we'll go 3 millimeters in, and then we'll go 3 millimeters that way. We can put in a little 2-point arc in between those two, just like that. Number of segments is too large for given angle and radius. Okay, might have to do it. Why have I got that face highlighted? I don't want that. We might have to just put in a quarter circle. That might be what's wrong. So we'll go 3 millimeters that way. Put in a quarter circle from here to there, like that. Okay, so that's given us that nice little quarter circle. Okay, now we need to have a little bead, and that bead is probably only going to be, maybe like, I don't know. Let's go 10 millimeters. Oh, 10 millimeters is a bit big. Sorry. Maybe 5 millimeters, half of that. Yeah, 5 millimeters looks okay. We'll go a 2-point arc here, and maybe just a little 2 millimeter bulge. I think that looks okay. 2, enter. There we go. Okay, so we've got that little bulge. Now, we need to go do sort of like a big bulge out like that, and then a little flat spot, and then we've got a little sort of bowl on top. So there's a few different ways we can do it. I reckon what we want to do first is figure out this spot here where this edge meets here. So I reckon it's from the top, it's about here. So how many millimeters does that look like? Let's say 25 millimeters. Okay, so we've got that mark at 25 mil. Now we're going to put in a 2-point arc from here to here, and we're just going to go out this way, probably like that much, and then we're going to need to go we'll go with a tape measure straight in line with this, and we'll go 40 millimeters that way. And we're going to grab the 2-point arc, go from here to here, and put in an arc like that to give us that kind of, I guess it's kind of like a vasey shape. Okay. Now that does look a little bit big. I don't know if we've left enough room for this to fit all in. Yeah, we might have to move that down a little bit further. Apologies, I just hit Control Z, and I think we put this at 40 millimeters. Oh no, sorry, what do we do? I think we did 25. Let's go to 30. 30 will be better. That 2-point arc from here to here, curve it out a little bit, make sure it's on the, don't do it on the red axis, it's got to be on face. So on face, bulge out 2 millimeters, that looks good. So 2, enter, there we go, and then we're going to go from here, this point, straight up, and we want to finish around here, so maybe at 35 millimeters. That's left us with a bit more space. I think that looks a bit better. Okay, so 2-point arc from here to here, and we want to go on face, and that looks pretty good. That looks like a nice vase shape. Oh, except see, that is going to be an issue. We've gone over, so that arc wasn't right. So just about there, 2.1 millimeter bulge. That looks fine. Okay, great. Now we'll leave a little 5 millimeter flat spot. So 5 millimeter flat spot. Geez, a 5 millimeter flat spot's quite big on this. Okay, and then we're going to do a little curve in and then a little bulb on top. So the bulb on top is going to have to meet right back up here at the top point, because that is there. So let's see. I guess we could probably draw that bulb in first. I reckon we want it to be from the center out maybe 7 millimeters, and then down 4 millimeters. We draw a 2-point arc in from here to here. Need to be on face. Yeah, just like that, a little bulge like that. That looks pretty good. Okay. Except again, we've gone over there. That's going to be a bit of an issue. So let's make it a bit smaller. Or maybe, yeah, maybe we might have to start it off. We have to leave a bit of a flat spot. Let's leave a 1 millimeter flat spot on top, and then do our 2-point arc. That will probably help us out a bit. Okay, so just bulge it. We'll put a 1 millimeter bulge in. Okay. Then we need to put in a, I guess it kind of continues to go in a little bit. So let's go from this way. Let's go 2 millimeters in that way and 2 millimeters on the green axis this way, and grab the arc, the 2-point arc tool, and go from there to there. Stay on the face. 0.6 millimeters, too large. Come on. Here to here. Come on, why won't you fit? Move. Do we need to make it heaps bigger? What's going on? Why won't you fit? Tangent at vertex. There we go. That looks a bit better. Okay. And then we need to draw a 2-point arc from here to here, and it goes in like that. Okay. So that's that. We've kind of got the shape there. I'm not super happy with that bulb. I reckon I could spend a bit more time fiddling with the arcs and stuff, trying to get it in the perfect position. But for now, that looks pretty good, I think. So all we're going to need to do is use the eraser to erase that line, and that line. Then we will need to, I think we'll probably need to actually draw in another circle on the base to here to follow around. So let's go follow me, this face, and sweep this one around to there. Okay. Oh God, what's happened here? It's cut the lid off. So yeah, I think that's the problem with the with that little bulb on top. Something is wrong here that it doesn't like. I think because we've sort of gone back up and in, it doesn't really like that. So back to the drawing board. Let's do those 2 arcs again. or maybe, let's see. How about this? Let's delete this line, delete, and I'll delete these guides as well. And let's see. We'll go in 2 millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters, and we'll go a 2-point arc from here, and we'll go make it 5 millimeters like that. And we want to go out on the green axis to a half circle. That can be our bulb, I guess you could say. And then we'll go a 2-point arc from here to here, in like that, with a bulge of 2 millimeters maybe. Okay, same sort of thing. Let's see if that one works. And again, like I said, you've just got to play around with it. Okay, you've just got to keep fiddling until you get it right. We've got to put a circle, unless I don't know if I can follow me on a different line. Will that work? Maybe not. Sorry, I'll put that circle in from here. Oops, wrong axis, blue axis. There we go. Follow me tool, and let's go around from here to here. How'd that go? All right, pretty good. It has removed a little bit in there and in there. But again, like I said, just play around with those arcs until you get it to not do that. But again, for the model, just for your drawing, I think that'll be fine, just like it is. You're not really going to notice that. But yeah, again, spend a little bit of time playing around with those arcs until you get it to remove those gaps altogether. But for now, what we're doing here, that'll do. Oops, sorry. So I want to remove these circles, the arcs, right? We're going to make this whole thing a component. How am I going to get this whole thing? I need to highlight it like this. Yep. Right click, make component. We'll call it Finials. And then we need to, I guess we could paint it. So paint the whole thing like that. Now we need to make a couple of copies. So we need to zoom back because the gap in between them is 130 millimeters. Okay. So let's measure from here, 130 millimeters. From here, 130 millimeters. I'll make a quick copy of this one. So press Control, move it, and Control, move it. Now remember, we've got to make these a little bit shorter. These two are only 32 millimeters. So let's make this one, the middle one, right click, make it unique. Then if I edit this one, it should do the exact same thing to this. So let's have a look. Double click on it, use the tape measure, measure down 32 millimeters. That's how tall we want it to be. Grab the push pull tool. We want to grab the bottom face, push it to there. Perfect. Okay, so we can exit that component now. We're going to grab the move tool. We want to grab the back corner and move it to that guide point. Same thing here, back corner, move it to that guide point. That means we've got a 130 millimeter gap between them, and now we can start getting it into the correct position. So to do that, I reckon we might group these. So click one, shift, click, shift, click. So we've got them all highlighted. Let's move them all the way to one edge, and then we'll measure the gap left over. So the gap left over is 26 millimeters. So we need to move them 13 millimeters along this way. So click the move tool, start moving across, hit 13 and enter, and that way they're perfectly centered. All right, so that's the finials done. And you know what? I think we'll save the crown profiles to a later video. Okay, we can probably delete our guides. We're not going to need those anymore. I think these may still need to come a little bit further forward, the finials, but we can do that in the next video. Okay, so that's looking pretty good so far. And I'll see you in the next video for the crown profiles. So remember, save your work, and I'll see you over there.